Alex was not a normal human. He was a space explorer, brave and curious. He had traveled many light years from Earth, searching for something new. But this time, he found something he never expected. His ship, the Starlight Eagle, floated quietly. In space, suddenly, the control screen blinked, showing a strange signal. It was coming from a small planet with no name, deep in the dark zone. The signal was old, but strong. Like it was calling someone. Alex looked at the screen and smiled. This could be something big, he said to himself. He set a course and flew toward the planet, not knowing what was waiting for him. The planet looked dead from above. Its surface was dry and gray, with large black rocks and no sign of life, but the signal kept growing stronger as he got closer. Alex wore his explorer suit and stepped outside. The air was thin but not poisonous. The wind made strange sounds, like whispers in an unknown language. Suddenly, a shadow moved behind a rock. Alex turned quickly, his hand on his laser tool. Then, he saw her, a girl, tall and thin, with glowing blue eyes and silver skin. She was not human, but not scary either. She wore a long white robe, and her hair floated softly around her. She didn't speak, just looked at Alex and then turned around slowly. She wanted him to follow her. Alex hesitated for a moment, then walked behind her. They moved through broken stones, deep into the valley. The silence was heavy, but Alex's heart was beating fast. After a long walk, they stopped in front of something amazing. Hidden behind the rocks was a giant ancient pyramid. It was covered in dust and green moss, but still strong and proud. Symbols were carved into its walls, glowing with soft blue light. The alien girl pointed at the pyramid. Then at Alex. She wanted him to go closer. He stepped forward and touched the stone surface with his hand. It was cold, but then something strange happened. The symbols lit up brighter, and the ground shook gently. With a deep, slow sound, a line appeared in the wall. The stones moved, and a secret door opened in front of him. Inside the door was only darkness. But something was calling him from inside. A soft light started glowing, like it was waiting just for him. Alex looked back at the alien girl, but she said nothing, just nodded once. He took a deep breath and stepped inside the pyramid. The door closed behind him with a heavy sound. He was now inside an ancient place, forgotten by time. The walls inside were smooth, like glass, and gave off a faint blue glow. There was no dust, no smell, no sound. It was like the place was still alive, just sleeping. As Alex walked forward, small lights began to appear under his feet. Every step he took made the path brighter, like the pyramid was watching him. He reached a large open chamber. In the center, there was a floating cube, spinning slowly in the air. It was made of metal and glass, and symbols floated around it like stars. Alex moved closer, and suddenly, the cube reacted. It shot a beam of light into the air. The light showed images, planets, stars, and then Earth. Alex's eyes widened. Why was Earth inside this ancient alien machine? Before he could think more, the beam changed again. Now it showed a giant explosion, cities burning, people running, and then darkness. The cube turned off and floated silently again. Alex stepped back, shocked. What is this? A warning? A message? He whispered. Before he could say more, the wall behind him started to glow. A shape formed another door. But this time, it was already open. He heard footsteps, but not his own. The sound was coming from the dark hallway. Beyond the door, Alex stood still, holding his breath. Someone or something was coming, and he had no idea what it wanted. The air inside the pyramid was not like outside. It was warmer, smoother, and alive. Alex could feel a soft vibration in the walls, like the building was breathing. He moved slowly, each step echoing like thunder in the silent chamber. Behind him, the alien girl stepped through the stone doorway. She moved without sound, like a ghost. Her glowing eyes watched everything, but her face stayed calm. Alex turned toward her. "What is this place?" he asked, but again, she said nothing, only raised her hand and pointed forward. The second chamber was larger than the first. Tall stone pillars touched the ceiling high above. Strange lights floated like stars in the air, symbols on the walls. Moved gently like waves in water, then something changed. The floor in front of them lit up and began to rise. Alex stepped back in surprise. But the girl stayed still. The rising platform shaped itself into a control table made of light and metal. Suddenly, the room shook. A deep sound came from beneath the floor, like a heartbeat. Then a voice spoke, not loud but powerful. Identity unknown. It said in a strange language, but Alex somehow understood it. Access denied. The voice continued. Red lights flashed. And the floor under Alex's feet opened. He dropped into darkness, falling fast. But just before he hit the ground, the air became thick like a cushion. He landed softly in a dark, hidden chamber. It was cold here, and very quiet. A soft light turned on, showing something strange. In front of him stood a huge wall filled with moving images. Like a living painting, it showed stars, planets, and battles. Alex watched as alien ships flew across space, firing at each other. Then he saw something shocking. Humans. Earth's ships, fighting in the same war, side by side with aliens. But something went wrong. The humans betrayed the alliance, destroyed their allies, and vanished. A giant red X appeared over Earth. The images ended, and silence returned. Alex stepped back, feeling confused. Why am I seeing this? Why me? He whispered. The wall opened, and the alien girl entered the chamber. Her expression was different now, more serious, more sad. She touched a stone, and a small round object floated out from the wall. It opened like a flower, showing a 3D hologram of Earth and a countdown timer. The timer was ticking fast. Something was coming, something dangerous. Alex felt fear grow in his chest. He turned to the girl and said, "Is Earth in danger?" She nodded slowly, her eyes glowing brighter. Then she raised her arm and activated a new path behind the wall. This time, the hallway was filled with floating stones, moving in slow circles. Alex followed her carefully, jumping across the stones one by one. At the end of the hallway was a chamber with a giant crystal in the center. The crystal pulsed with soft energy. Around it were golden rings, slowly spinning. This was no normal room. It was a control center. Suddenly, machines woke up. Lights flashed and the ceiling opened to show a map of the galaxy. Earth blinked in red, while other planets blinked in blue and green. Then a message appeared in mid-air. "Warning, the gate will open in 5 days." Alex looked at the alien girl in shock. What gate? What happens in 5 days? He asked. This time, the girl finally spoke, her voice soft and strange. "If the gate opens, Earth will fall." Alex's mind raced. Was this ancient place a weapon? A warning? A trap? He didn't know, but one thing was clear. The pyramid wasn't just an old ruin. It was a message from the past, and now it was awake again. Alex stood still as the alien girl's words echoed in his mind. "If the gate opens, Earth will fall." He stared at the floating galaxy map, feeling the weight of every blinking red light. The chamber grew quiet again, as if waiting for him to decide. But before he could speak, the floor began to move. The ground beneath his feet shifted in circles, pulling him and the alien girl downward. The light faded, and soon they were swallowed by the dark once more. When the floor stopped, they were in a new chamber. This one was nothing like the others. It was round, like a perfect sphere, with no doors, no windows, just glowing patterns on the walls, and a strange metallic hum in the air. In the center floated 3 objects: a cube, a sphere, and a pyramid. Each one rotated slowly, giving off a soft pulse of energy. They looked simple, but something about them felt alive. Then the voice returned, deeper this time. "To pass, you must choose. To choose, you must see." The objects began to glow brighter, and the walls changed. Suddenly, Alex saw 3 scenes appearing around him. In the first, he saw Earth peaceful, calm, and safe. In the second, he saw war space battles, fire and broken cities. In the third, he saw himself alone in the dark, holding something powerful. Alex took a step back, confused. What is this? He whispered. The alien girl stood silently beside him, watching closely. Then she pointed at the floating shapes. He had to pick one. The cube glowed blue, calm and steady. The sphere glowed red, fast and wild. The pyramid glowed white, silent and cold. Alex closed his eyes for a moment. He remembered the images he saw before. The ancient war, the betrayal, the gate, the warning. He took a breath and touched the cube. Everything stopped. The room froze in time, and the blue light surrounded him. Then the ground opened, and a large stone table rose from the floor. On it, a puzzle made of symbols appeared. The voice returned, slower now. Solve it or be lost. Alex stepped forward, looking at the puzzle. It was made of glowing pieces that fit like a language. Some of the symbols looked familiar, like the ones on the pyramid wall. Others were strange, moving like living things. He picked one piece and tried to connect it. It faded, and the floor beneath him cracked slightly. He was being tested. Each wrong move made the room shake. Each right move lit up the table with a soft chime. The alien girl didn't help, but her eyes followed every move. Alex's mind raced. He remembered the alien script that lit up when he first touched the pyramid. He remembered the symbol the girl touched when showing him the hologram. Slowly, he started seeing a pattern. Piece by piece, the puzzle came together. As the last symbol clicked into place, the table disappeared. A new path opened in the wall, lit with golden lights. The voice spoke one last time. Worthy, Alex. Turned to the alien girl. She looked at him, then nodded gently. They walked into the glowing path together. The walls around them showed a new image, a large machine, deep underground, connected to the galaxy map. It was called the Core, and below it, one word was written in alien script. Activate. Alex stared at the image. He didn't know what the Core truly was. A weapon? A shield? A key? But one thing was clear. It was calling to him. Asterisk. The golden hallway ended at a wide metal door. It was tall, silent, and sealed like it hadn't opened in 1,000 years. Alex stepped forward, but before he could touch it, the alien girl raised her hand. She placed her palm against the center of the door, and it responded to her touch. A deep hum echoed through the walls. The metal door glowed with soft blue lines, then slid open with a hiss. Inside was a dark chamber, colder than the others. The light inside was dim, but the walls were covered with something different this time. Memories. Not just drawings, not just symbols, but full images, moving like smoke in the air. As Alex stepped closer, the images became clearer. He saw huge alien ships flying through space. He saw planets burning, cities falling, and humans fighting alongside alien warriors. It was not just a war. It was a war that changed the galaxy, and Earth was in the center of it. Alex watched as one memory showed a peaceful alliance. Aliens of many shapes and sizes sitting with human leaders. They shared knowledge, technology, and dreams. Earth had once been part of something greater, but then the images changed. Dark shadows appeared behind the leaders. Whispers turned into arguments. Peace into betrayal. The humans turned against the alliance and used alien tech for their own power. Explosions followed. A beautiful alien city was destroyed by Earth's forces. Ships vanished, alliances broke, and one by one, the ancient races disappeared. Earth was erased from history, locked out of the galaxy's memory. Alex stepped back, heart pounding. No one on Earth knows this, he said softly. They never told us. He turned to the alien girl. She looked at him, her glowing eyes filled with something new, pain. Without speaking, she touched a panel on the wall. The chamber shifted. A hidden doorway opened and led to a high platform. At the center of it stood a tall pillar with a floating crown-like device. The girl stepped forward and placed both her hands on it. The air shimmered around her, and slowly her form began to change. Her skin glowed brighter, her robe turned into golden armor, wings of light spread behind her back. Alex watched in awe as the truth revealed itself. She was not just an alien, she was royalty, the last heir of the ancient alien empire, a guardian of the knowledge, the history, and the core. The chamber spoke for her this time. She is the keeper, the voice said. The last child of the high species, born in silence, raised in ruins. She has waited for a worthy soul. Alex looked at her with new eyes. She wasn't here to guide him, she was here to test him, to decide if humans were ready to return. He felt a wave of guilt and confusion. Why me? He asked. I'm just one man from Earth. The keeper stepped close and placed her hand on his chest. She showed him a memory, his childhood, his dreams, his past. She had been watching him long before they met. He had something most humans had forgotten: empathy. The platform began to rise slowly, lifting them above the memories. Ahead of them was a glowing path that led to the core itself. But as they rose, a red warning flashed through the walls. Another signal had entered the system. Someone else had arrived on the planet, and they were not here for peace. The sky above the pyramid turned red. Alarms, long silent, screamed through the ancient walls. From deep below, the ground began to tremble like something old and angry had awakened. The keeper turned her head sharply. Her glowing eyes narrowed. They are here, she whispered. Alex ran to the edge of the high platform and looked through the clear crystal window. A dark ship had landed near the pyramid, its body covered in black metal like sharp armor. It didn't belong to the old empire. It was newer, human-made. But not from any peaceful mission. Earth sent someone else, Alex muttered. But deep down, he knew this would happen. He was not the only one watching the stars. The platform lowered slowly, taking them toward the core chamber. Alex felt the weight of every step. The keeper walked beside him, silent but tense. When the doors opened, Alex's breath caught in his chest. The core floated in the middle of the chamber. It was massive, a sphere of light, metal, and energy, spinning like a star. Its light filled the room with warmth and danger at the same time. Around it were broken symbols and ancient machines, some alive, some dead. But all of them pointed to one truth. The core had the power to change worlds. The keeper raised her hand, and the core responded. Rings of light moved around her as the room lit up with ancient language. The walls showed two paths, one marked protect, the other erase. Alex stepped forward slowly. What is it? He asked. A weapon? The keeper turned toward him and finally spoke. It is choice, she said, built by those who feared memory, but also by those who hoped for forgiveness. Alex stared at the two paths. One would erase Earth from every galactic system forever. The other would protect it, return it to the network, but expose it to judgment. It was not just about survival, it was about truth. Before he could speak, the doors behind them blasted open. Armed humans stormed in. Earth agents, dressed in black armor, faces cold and focused. Step away from the core, their leader shouted. We're taking control of this facility. Alex stood between them and the keeper. You don't know what this is, he warned. The leader raised a weapon. We don't need to know. We were sent to secure it. The keeper stayed calm, her energy glowing brighter. This core chooses not men, she said. Only one can bond with it. Alex looked at her, then at the core. What happens if I touch it? He asked. You see everything, she said. And then it sees you, without waiting. Alex stepped forward and placed his hand on the core. A shock of energy rushed through him. He saw visions: Earth's future, its past, every choice it had made. He saw the betrayal, the pain, but also the beauty and the hope. The core spoke not with words, but with feeling. It asked only one thing. What will you do with the truth? Behind him, the agents shouted, raised weapons. But the keeper raised her arms, and a wall of light blocked their path. Alex turned to the galaxy map that appeared above the core. The Earth blinked in red, waiting for his answer. He had no weapon, No army, just one hand on the most powerful choice in the universe. And then he spoke. Let them see us, not for what we were, he said slowly, but for what we can become. The core pulsed. The light turned white. The chamber filled with a hum so pure it made the walls glow. The earth changed from red to green, and for the first time, the galaxy listened. Asterisk. The storm began in silence. Not with thunder, not with fire, but with light. As the core accepted Alex's choice, the entire pyramid lit up like a star. Waves of energy shot into the sky, reaching far beyond the planet's atmosphere. All across the galaxy, ancient satellites blinked awake. Sleeping systems turned on, sending signals across forgotten space. The core's reactivation was not a secret anymore. It had sent a message, a loud one, and not everyone welcomed it. The soldiers behind the shield stepped back, unsure of what to do. Their weapons looked small now, useless in front of this power. The Earth agent leader growled into his communicator. "Command, we've lost control," he said. "Repeat, the core is active." He made contact. Far above the pyramid, in orbit, a hidden fleet moved. Massive ships, dark and quiet, now began to shift position. Earth's shadow army had arrived, not to protect Alex, but to erase the evidence. Inside the chamber, the keeper lowered her shield. She looked at Alex with calm eyes, but there was something behind them, sorrow. "You made the right choice," she said softly, "but choices bring storms." Alex watched as the core created a new path. The floor split open, and a long stairway led deeper underground. He turned to the keeper. "What's down there?" he asked. "The heart of the Empire," she said, "where the truth becomes action." But before they could move, the walls shook violently. Explosions echoed above. The fleet had begun their attack. The Earth agents turned and ran, shouting into their radios. "Phase 2 has started. We need air support." Alex and the keeper ran down the glowing stairway. Each step brought them closer to something ancient and final. The core's energy followed them, lighting the path. Above them, the war had begun. Inside the heart chamber, time itself seemed slower. Giant gears turned around a sphere of white fire. A voice, older than any he had heard before, spoke in his mind. "The galaxy remembers. The galaxy forgives or it destroys." The keeper stood at the edge of the chamber, her face lit by the fire. "This is the true core," she said. "The one above is only the key." Alex felt a deep fear rise in his chest. He had started something bigger than himself. Now the galaxy would decide what came next. Suddenly, a new voice filled the chamber, cold and human. "Step away from the control interface." It was Commander Rex, Earth's top military strategist, standing at the stairs with his men. He walked forward slowly, eyes locked on Alex. "You don't know what you've done," Rex said. "You've opened a door that should have stayed closed." Alex stepped in front of the core. "I made a choice for truth," he said. "You made a choice for control." Rex raised his weapon, but the keeper moved faster. A shield of light blocked the blast. More soldiers rushed in, and chaos filled the room. Blasters fired, machines whirred, alarms screamed. Alex dodged, ran, fought until he reached the final panel of the core. His hand hovered above the last switch. If he activated it, Earth would be fully connected to the galactic system. But Earth's crimes would also be seen by every living world. The core would not just restore Earth's voice, it would restore Earth's record. The keeper shouted through the noise, "You still have the power to stop this." Alex looked around the room, the war, the pain, and then he looked at Earth, spinning gently on the map. He placed his hand on the final switch. "Let them see everything," he whispered. The switch turned, and the galaxy blinked. The war stopped. Every ship, every gun, every screen across the stars now showed Earth's true story, not filtered, not hidden. The betrayal, the pain, the hope, the courage. Alex had started a storm, but maybe it was the storm the galaxy needed. Silence fell like snow. No sound of weapons, no commands, no cries. Only the soft hum of the core filled the chamber. Everything had stopped, paused in a moment between history and future. Alex stood alone in the center, the light of the core shining through his skin. The keeper floated just above the platform, her body glowing like a star about to fade. Commander Rex and his soldiers stood frozen, watching the truth unfold before them. Screens all across the galaxy now showed Earth's past, its glory and its shame. There was no way to erase it now. The truth was free, and truth had power. But the core had not finished its work. A final message pulsed through the room. "Choose the path forward," the ancient voice whispered. "Forgive or fight." Alex looked at the control panel. Two paths glowed beneath his hand. One would seal Earth inside a shield, protected but isolated forever. The other would open Earth to the galaxy again, offering peace but risking judgment. Behind him, Rex spoke, voice shaking. "You've done enough. Step back." Alex turned to face him. "Enough is not the same as right," he said calmly. "The galaxy saw the truth. Now we must live with it." The keeper floated closer, her voice soft. "This is the last choice," she said. "Not just for you, but for all your kind." Alex stared at Earth on the glowing map. He thought of the lies he once believed, the things he had seen, the ancient war, the betrayal, the chance to become something better. He didn't want to be remembered as a mistake. He wanted Earth to be remembered as hope. With one breath, he placed his hand on the open path. The core exploded in light, bright, pure, endless. The chamber shook, not in fear, but in awakening. Ancient machines around the galaxy came to life. Lost portals reconnected. Old friends remembered their promises for the first time in centuries. Earth's name appeared again in the universal system, a small world with a painful past, but with a voice that chose peace. The keeper smiled, her body now fading like starlight. "You have brought us back," she said, "but you must guide them forward." She placed a crystal in Alex's hand, a memory, a key, a seed. "Plant this in your world," she whispered. "It will remind them who they were and who they can be." As the core began to shut down, the platform lifted him slowly upward. Back through the halls, the glowing stones, the path he had walked before. The pyramid was now calm, its mission complete. The warships in orbit stood still. Then one by one, they turned away. No attack, no order, just silence and respect. Alex returned to the surface. The sky above was brighter than before. He looked back at the pyramid, now hidden again in stone and time. The alien girl, the keeper, was gone, but her voice stayed in his heart. The door behind him closed one last time, and Earth was no longer alone.